Here are 5 spoiler-free tips to level up your playthrough of Persona 3 Reload, regardless of if this is your first time playing a Persona game or if you are a veteran. Tip 1. Early on, you want to raise up your social stats as much as you can by doing various activities such as part-time jobs, playing in the arcades at night, staying awake in class, or partaking in the new dormitory activities with your dorm mates. The dormitory activities may prove to be quite powerful as it helps to unlock battle traits to strengthen your party members as well as help you raise your social stats. You want to raise these social stats fast because social links, the relationship building aspects of Persona 3 Reload, also enhances your ability to fuse stronger personas are gated behind certain levels of your social stats. If this is your first time ever playing Persona games, you're gonna want as much time as possible throughout the year to develop these social links, so start early. To add to this, specifically for Persona 3 Reload, social links with your classmates or from club activities at school should be prioritized because they may largely be unavailable, let's say during school holidays or exam periods. Tip 2. As you gain personas from fusing and fighting shadows in Tartarus, you notice that each persona belongs to a specific arcana. Now, if you participate in a specific social link and have a persona classified in the same arcana as that social link, you'll get increased social link points whenever you select positive answers during that social link. This can be extremely helpful in opening up more days in your calendar year to complete side quests because you have to spend less time building rapport with the social link you're working on. This directly feeds into tip number 1 as it opens up your day to do more of whatever you would like, more side quests, more social stats development, or more social link development as well. There's also a nice feedback loop to all of this because on the opposite end, the higher your social link level is, the more XP bonus you get when fusing into a persona with a matching arcana. Let's say I wanted to make a magician arcana and I have a high social link level of magician. When I do that, my magician persona automatically gains levels because I already had that relationship, unlocking more skills and gaining higher stats, which directly helps you in tougher encounters within Tartarus. By spending more time with social links, you're also directly increasing your power ceiling because once you reach the max level of your social link, you'll be able to fuse into very special personas that have very strong skills. Tip 3, and this is for you Persona 3 veterans out there who are on the fence about playing Persona 3 Reload. Take advantage of all the quality of life features that have been added into this game. When fusing personas in the Velvet Room, skills can now be selected for inheritance instead of being chosen randomly. This gives you greater control of creating strong personas with great coverage even early on in the game. Also, unlike the original game, you can no longer get fatigued for being in Tartarus for too long. Cosmetics are now no longer tied to specific armor pieces, allowing you to wear whatever armor you want with whatever style you want. And with that out the way, we can now talk about the fun, sweaty combat mechanic changes. There's 2 new combat mechanics that got added into Persona 3 Reload, unlike the original. That being the shift mechanic and the 3G mechanic. Shift allows you to switch to a different party member after exploiting an enemy's weakness. This can be used to chain successive weakness exploits by utilizing your teammates' skills before your enemies can act, giving you the opportunity to force your enemies to lose turns and giving you the ability to launch all-out attacks to quickly end battles. This can greatly alleviate MP usage for certain characters because now you can distribute it throughout your party members, granting you more ways to preserve your resources as you explore Tartarus. 3G, on the other hand, are special actions that your party can perform once that 3G gauge is fully built up. The special actions, accompanied by a gorgeous animation, deals severe elemental or specific physical damage to 1 or more enemies, depending on the character. Each character builds up the gauge differently. For example, the protagonist gains meter every time a persona skill is used, Yukari builds meter whenever she uses a healing skill, Junpei builds meter whenever he lands a critical hit, Mitsuru gains meter whenever she afflicts a stat ailment or debuff on an enemy, and Akihiko builds meter when he uses a support skill on himself. You'll unlock more party members as you go throughout the story, and each of those party members will have their own specific conditions to building up this meter, so that way you can unleash the ultimate attack. Before we continue with the next tip, who is your favorite party member so far? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're having a good time, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more Persona 3 content. Thank you. Tip 4. Be strategic when visiting Tartarus. If this is your first Persona game, pulling this off might be difficult for you in the first couple of calendar months because of how snowbally mismanagement of resources can get. So don't stress out too much about it, but always keep this tip in the back of your mind. Even as you're learning the mechanics of the game and the flow of the game, try to visit Tartarus as little as possible per full moon phase. How I like to do it and how I always recommend to do it is to try to reach the boss in the same run as when you first go into the new segment of Tartarus that opens up. You'll run into some mini bosses, but you always want to try to get to that end boss ASAP. And if you can pull it off, you want to try to beat that boss in the same run. This could require a fair bit of resources to keep your party healthy during the whole run, so be sure to stock up beforehand. Once you get into a rhythm in the later months and have some resources built up, exploring Tartarus is way easier. The earlier you can pull this off though, the better, because knocking out the newest section of Tartarus in one run opens up an entire full moon phase for you to build up your social stats, social link, and participate in the new Link episodes to unlock special Persona Fusion recipes for stronger skills for your Persona. Now if you're struggling to do this, I would say don't worry about it. It's okay if you can't beat the boss in that one run, but like I mentioned, try to. If it doesn't work, come out, build up your social stats, fuse some personas, take on some side quests, build up some money, get some more resources, and then grind up a little bit, and then tackle the boss on your second or third visit, whatever you need. Don't stress out too much about it. It's not a requirement to clear Tartarus ASAP. It's just a recommendation to be more efficient with your time. And this goes directly into tip number 5. This one's going to be a controversial one because I'm going to contradict myself, but hear me out. I highly recommend trying your best to not save scum and be okay with missing things in this game. Play it to the best of your abilities, but if things don't work out the way you expect, that's okay. Go with your gut and make choices the way that you genuinely want to, and save that perfect save file playthrough for your second go round, because you'll be able to carry over things like social stats and your Persona Compendium for your new Game Plus playthrough, allowing you to experience whatever you missed out on your first playthrough and giving you more bang for your buck anyways. Wink wink, you're spending more time in this game. While there hasn't been any confirmation, there may be secret storylines or boss battles that is only accessible in New Game Plus, if we can take Persona 5 as an example on how that has been implemented before. Even without that though, playing this way is a lot less stressful, and take it from a chronic min-maxer optimizer fighting game nerd, you want to not stress out and try to min-max the fun out of your playthrough. If that's the way you approach video games, that's fine. You can join me in the min-max circle. But for those of you experiencing Persona for the first time, just go with the flow. Have fun, miss things, and create that memorable playthrough that only you had, because you made those decisions and you did those weird things and you messed up here and there, and now you have a fun story to tell about your time playing Persona 3 Reload. I think that's honestly like a really fun part of these games, is the missability of the content. You have so much that you can share with your friends and other people who have played this game, like, oh yeah, did you do this? What? What do you mean that content exists? Now I'm gonna go play it again. That kind of magic can be easily lost if you just look up a guide in your first playthrough and just try to do everything, because now you're losing the discoverability aspect of the game. But anyways, those are just my 5 tips on how I prefer to play games these days. If you have any other fun tips and tricks that I didn't cover in this video, please leave it in the comments below to help out your fellow Persona enjoyers. Be mindful of first time players. Please try to keep it spoiler free if you can. My name is Varsona, and I hope you all have an awesome time experiencing Persona 3 Reload. Stay tuned for more JRPG content from me by subscribing to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.